happens, don't worry. We are recording, so you will have access to this on YouTube later on. So we're going to get started. So I just thought of something. I'm going to try something out here. I'm going to try to share this with you guys just in case. Let's see on the link. So I'm going to post this in the chat. See if you guys can follow along. That might make it a little bit easier for you guys. I just thought of that. It might be helpful. So we are today going to do some more race analysis. We started this last week. So we already see some anonymous people up here, which is great. So first off, I hope everyone is healthy and safe. And as always, thank you for all your support. It truly means a lot. We hope you guys are all doing well. So we're going to watch about 3 or 4 races today. We're going to analyze them. So what I want you to be doing while we do that, there's 4 questions I want you to be asking yourself. I want you to ask yourself first, what am I seeing? And I want you to look closely. I don't want you just to say, oh, I'm seeing butterfly, or oh, I'm seeing this. I want you to look closely at what you're seeing. Look for catechisms. Look for things like that. Don't just look at the surface. Look beyond. So you got some people in, which is great. Second, I want you to think, why is it important? So you're going to take what you're seeing and think, why is it important? And don't just think, oh, it's because to help you go fast. Think about why. Think about catechism. Think about some of the things we've been talking about. Think Coach's Corner. Don't just think, oh, it helps you go faster. Well, yeah, it does. We want to make sure you think beyond that. Make sure it's in. Boom. Next, I want you to think how you would work on it. So you've taken something that you've seen. You think about why it's important. And I want you to think about how would you work on it. If we are talking about being fast and controlled or double explosion and butterfly, how would you work on it? Think about your plan. Think about the season we just had. Think about the season we're going to be having soon. How would you work on this, the skill that we talk about? And lastly, think about when would you work on it? Then think about the big picture. Don't just think, oh, well, I would work on it in the pool. As we've been doing through these last couple weeks, think about all the things we've been working on. We've been working on our streamline, working on our underwaters, working on getting stronger. Talking about fast and controlled, make a move, hunt and kill. Think about the clinics that we've been doing. So don't just think of it as, oh, well, I can't work on this until I get back in the water. Think about the big picture. What can you be doing throughout the week to help you get ready with all these skills? So think about the what am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? Make sure everyone's in. I'm going to post this again just for anyone who knew's coming in. See, we got to get AJ in here. So I'm going to post this again just in case anyone wants it. And here we go. So we had one person who submitted a race to be analyzed. So Silas, thank you very much. Remember, people, feel free to post videos in that sign up. I'll post it again in the chat later. Please sign up. It makes it a lot more fun, not only for me, but for everyone here. So we're going to start by watching Silas's 200 butterfly at prelims of the 13 over state meet. 13 over state meet prelims. Now it's going to be in 3 videos, so we're going to watch it together. So this is the first one. Make sure it's nice and big for everyone to see. This is the first part of the race. So Silas is right here, right at the bottom. This is prelims. So we're going to watch this race together, and then we're going to talk about it. Boom, there he is. There's the man. 13 over state meet, prelims right here, 200 fly. So first 50's looking great. I want you guys just kind of watching right now. We're going to talk about it a little bit more in a little bit, but I want you guys just to get a feel for the race first. Like I said, it's in 3 parts, so keep this part in your head. This is the first 75 of the 200 fly at state. This is prelims at state. So now we're on to the second part. So this is going into the 100. This is the first half of the race. It's crushing it. And we're going to talk about this in a little bit. We're going to go into a deep dive on this and why it was great, what can we work on, and all that fun stuff. So please, people, remember, submit your stuff. It's fun. You know, it doesn't have to be one of your races, but if you submit a race, it's going to make it a lot more interesting for you. You're going to be a little more invested in it. All right, so this is the 125. Still crushing. Get that play out of the way. Someone's about to join, and I'm going to let them in about 8 seconds before we let them in. Let this video finish. Excellent. All right, who is this? Let's get Mad Max in here. And then we're on the last part of the race. This is the last about 50. Big Silas at the 13 over state meet prelims. Attacking the 175. So remember the thing about the questions to ask yourself. What am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? Awesome. Nice job, Big Silas. Woo! All right, let's go back to our little PDF here. Big Silas. So let's talk about some things here. Like kind of we started off with last week. Let's talk about his stroke count. So he does a great job of really managing his strokes. So if you look at his first 25, takes 6 strokes. Good dive, good underwaters. Then his second 25, he takes 10. Then 11. And this is where it's awesome right here. 11, 12, 12, 12, 12, 13. Now there's so many times in 200 flies where you'll see 6, 10, 13, 15, 17, 17, 18. Silas does a really good job of keeping those last 175 within 3 strokes. It's really, really well. So that's the sign of a real professional 200 butterflyer is keeping those stroke counts nice and close. Like we talk about, you don't want 10, 12, 15, 17, 18. Keep them within a little, keep them together, keep them close. Really nice job here. I want you to remember that. Think about that as we go on through some more of these questions. Make sure everyone's in. Boom, got him in. Excellent. So now let's take a look at his time and his splits. So he went 2:18:09 in the morning. Really well swam. So his first 50 was 30.2, 34.7. So he was out in a 105.0. Then he was 36.1, 36.9. Back in 113.0. Once again, real nice job of keeping those last 250s close together. Can't tell how many times I see 30, 35, 38, 39, or 40. So really nice job here. So the fade was about 8 seconds. The average fade for about an NCAA athlete, which is once again the best of the best, is about 4.4 seconds. So Maxine, since you just joined us, you're going to be answering this question. What is one way that you think that we could work on the fade? How can we get the 8 seconds closer to the 4.4 seconds without saying go out slower? Because that's not how a tuner fly works. You can go out as slow as you want, but it's still going to be very painful coming back. He did the right thing here, kind of going out after it. So Maxine, since you just joined, what's one way you think we can work on the fade? I want you to answer it in the chat. Let's see it, Mad Max. Give us your best shot. Just give us an answer. It doesn't have to be right. Doesn't have to be wrong. There's no such thing as a wrong answer in this. We're going to be talking about it anyways. I warned you guys. I'll be calling on you guys. Olivia, help her out. You're a 200 butterflyer. What's one way that you think we can work on the fade? All right. I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds there, Olivia. And if not, I'm going to... Oh, here we go. I think staying underwater. I agree. Well done, Olivia. I agree. That is definitely Maxine, making sure to keep the rhythm. Great. Both great answers. So I agree. One thing we can definitely work on is staying underwater a little bit longer. If you noticed off the dive, Silas did a great job of kicking out to about 12, 13, 14 meters. As the race progressed, the kicks got steadily shorter. We went to like 2 kicks, then we went to 1, and we went to a little flicker of the feet, and we got back up. So I think that's a great example of, yes, we got to stay underwater a little bit longer. And Maxine nailed it as well, keeping the rhythm. Now, he did a great job of maintaining his rhythm, as we saw with the stroke count, but if we had maybe a few more underwaters, maybe we can go 6, 8, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11. So maybe we can take even less strokes, easier to maintain the rhythm, and that'll help us get there a little bit closer. But very nice job, both of you. Great answers. Yes, we can go out the same. You can go a little bit faster. And then we can maintain the rhythm with some more underwaters. Both great answers. Great answers. So now let's talk about race strategy. And see, there's some questions coming up, so I want you guys to start thinking here. So the race strategy. So a little bit of context. We talked about this in the butterfly clinic, but I'll mention it again. So total, there were 15, 13, 14 boys swimming this race. So as long as we completed the race legally, we got a spot in finals. Guaranteed. As long as we finished the race legally. So based on this knowledge, what do you think our race strategy was in the morning? So we knew going into it that we'd have a spot in the finals as long as we swam it legally. So I want you to think about this. And then Megan, I want you to answer, when or how do you think he made his move? Now, your hint is to think about his stroke count. So Megan, when or how do you think he made his move? I want to see what your answer is, Megan. Let's see it. So Megan, I want you to answer, when or how do you think he made his move? Took a while to spell rhythm. Yes, when he made his move in the race. I don't know what other move there would be, but yes, when do you think he made his move in the race that we just watched? Think about his stroke count. When do you think he made his move? This is very important for you 200 butterflyers. The 150. Agreed. So that third 50, and Sas can agree this, we talked about having a really good third 50. So as you can see here, look at his stroke count. 12, 12, 12, 12, 13. So sometimes making a move is staying consistent. Like we talked about earlier. A lot of times in Twitter Fly, you'll see 6, 10, 13, 15, 17, 19. That's not really making a move. By staying consistent with the 12s, that means he made a move. That means he was able to really attack that third 50 a little bit better and keep his stroke count consistent. So really nice answer. So Ari, I want you to answer now. When or how do you think he hunted and killed? We kind of know when he did, but what do you think he did to help him hunt and kill, Miss Ari? And once again, you can think about stroke count. You can think about what you know about butterfly. I'm going to try to put up the last video. Here we go. So this is going into his last turn. Miss Ari, I want you to answer, what do you think he did to hunt and kill? And by the way, if you notice, on his last 25, he didn't breathe on his breakout. What do you think he did, Ari, to hunt and kill? Play that again. So you can what? Picked up his tempo. I agree. He was real, as you can see, that was a pitiful hunt and kill, Silas. So, as you can see, we talked about this in a tour fly. It gets really hard that last 25, those last 6 or 7 strokes. Everyone starts just lifting their head up, their hips sink, and they just go straight down to the bottom. They're breathing every stroke. Silas, you can tell he's hurting But look at this. He's still sticking to his breathing pattern. He's still not breathing every stroke. He's doing his best to keep his hips up, and that doesn't breathe on his last stroke. So as you can see here, look at that, doesn't breathe on his breakout, and you can tell he's tired. It's the 200 fly. Of course you're going to get tired at the end of a 200 fly. You swam it right. But he's sticking to his breathing pattern. He's going one up, one down, and he's not going to breathe on his last stroke. So really nice job. Really, really nice job. So you guys nailed it. Based on what you saw, the strategy was really try to go after that third 50 a little bit more, and then finish what you got left. So, Josh Mims, I want you to answer this, and then Alex Frick, you guys are both going to put one in the chat. Each of you are going to put one. I want you to say one catechism that you saw. So remember, these are our catechisms for butterfly. So I added them here to make it a little bit easier, guys, so you don't have to just remember it off the top of your head. So I want Alex Frick and Josh Mims to make sure they're in here. I want you guys to say one thing that you guys saw. Each year, talk about one catechism that you guys saw. You don't have to talk about what it means or how he does it, but I want to say one thing that you saw. Hopefully, forward up, forward down, stretch and snap. Awesome. Really nice job. Both, I agree. We talked about forward up, forward down, how he was not letting his hips drag under the water. And especially in the beginning of the race, he was really stretching and snapping. Now, there's one thing I do want to talk about, and you'll kind of see it. Hopefully, I can find it for you guys. We're going to talk about double explosion a little bit and how that relates to race strategy. I've been watching some video, and hopefully, I can show you guys this. So let's see here. I think this is the beginning. Oh, this one is. So this is the beginning of the race. I want you to take a look at Sousa's double explosion, this first 25, first 50-ish. I want you to see the size of his kick, especially his second kick. So he's doing a great job. This is gorgeous. Whoops, sorry. Cameraman. Come on, cameraman. So he does a great job of forward up, forward down. Great job of stretch and snap. But I want you to take a look at his double explosion. Great job with the double explosion. Look at that. He's getting his kick going. It's great. So now I want to fast forward. We're going to talk about the end of the race now. Ooh, wrong video, I think. Nope, that was the right one. We're going to talk about the end of the race now. Now I take a look at this double explosion. Not as explosive. So we do a great job forward up, forward down. Great job of stretch and snap. But one of the things that I've been seeing, especially with 200 butterflyers, is at the beginning of the race, their double explosion is not as strong. They're still doing it, but as you saw in the beginning, he's really rocking that double explosion. It's really kicking. He is really going after it. And then at the end, we're a little tired. Oh, I'm all over the place with these videos. Sorry, big guys. So at the beginning, we're really attacking that double explosion. Towards the end, we're losing a little bit. So use that double explosion as part of your race strategy. In a 200 fly and a 100 fly, you don't have to use all your energy on that second kick at the beginning. Use it to kick your breath forward. Use it to maintain your rhythm, but you don't have to slam that second kick down as hard. Use that later on in the race when it's time to make a move. Reagan Smith, if you want to see a good 200 butterflyer, watch Reagan Smith 200 butterfly. She's fantastic at this, and that's where I started seeing this is, hey, let's start going after this. So all right. Great job here. Great job. So we talked about all this stuff. Now, what do you notice about his turns? What do you notice about his turns? Did he stay up? Did he stay low? What do you guys think on that? What do you guys think? Let's see. Gabby Blake, what do you think about his turns? Did he stay up? Did he stay low? What do you think, Miss Gabby Blake? And you can say both. We can talk about it. But Gabby Blake, what do you think that he did? Did he pull up? Did he stay low? Did he do both? He stayed low. Excellent. So yes, towards the beginning, he stayed low. But all bad, but progressively worse. So yes, towards the end, as you can see, got a little tired. What I want you to notice here is into the wall. Let's see if I can give it a good pause here. So we touched the wall right here. Not a lot of bend into the turn. Not a lot of bend. So what he is, he's touching the wall. He's driving his elbow back, but his elbow that we talk about really bending in, face towards the hand. Not a whole lot of it. driving the knees up. We can be a little bit faster driving into the knees as we're kind of turning already, and then we're gone. So yeah, he stayed low, but we can stay even lower. We can make it a little faster. Now, that's easy for us to say. We're not swimming the tuner fly right now, but that's something we can definitely work on is keep it low like you were, but also making sure we're driving those knees in a little bit quicker. Driving the knees in, bend in here a little bit more. Bend at the elbow a little bit more. Woo! So let's wrap this bad boy up. So, end of the story, Silas crushed a 216 at finals, came back, did 2 tuner flies in one day, crushed a 216 at night, best time. Even better, we started the year at 233. So we went from 233 to 216. It was just a tremendous year for Mr. Silas in the tuner fly. It was awesome. It was so fun to be a part of, especially on deck. Way to go, big guy. And thank you for sharing your race. That was a lot of fun for me to watch again, kind of relive in the moment, kind of think about what we talked about, and to share. So thank you for sharing. That was a lot of fun. And hopefully that gets other people excited and more people want to start sharing their races and stuff like that if they have it. As always, feel free to submit it on video, email, whatever you need to do. But it was awesome. It was really fun. So thank you, Big Silas. Make sure everyone's in. So now what we're going to do, we're going to kind of compare and contrast here. So last week we did race analysis. We just did a lot of looking at races one by one, kind of talked about them. Today I want to kind of compare races to show how you can get better and where you can get better. So we're going to take a look at some races and we're going to look at them. So the first one we're comparing and contrast is we're going to look at Adam Peaty's world records 100 breaststroke. So what we're going to do, like I said, I'm going to post these in the chat. So this first one we're going to watch is from 2016, the Olympics. We're going to put in the chat. And I want to have it. Hopefully you guys have been watching these on NBC Sports. They've been re-airing them. Have them recorded. They're awesome to watch again. They just did Rio these past couple days. They've been a lot of fun. So we're going to look at his 2016 100 breast world record. If you would like to watch it on my screen, feel free. It's right here. If you want to watch it on your own, it's in the chat. But we're going to watch his 100 breast 2016 world record. And remember, I want you to think about these questions. What am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? So he's red cap right in the middle of the pool, Adam Peaty. What am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? So he's doing a great job right away. Remember, this is at the Olympics. This is at Rio, so you can watch this. This was just on the other night. And the announcers, I think, are the British announcers, which are great, but it's kind of fun to listen to Rowdy Gaines cheer and yell about it too. So I would recommend if you have it on DVR, you can watch it. I'd watch it live as well. So he's doing a great job. Look how far ahead of the world record line he is. And now he's coming to attack it. He's going after it. So he did a really good job of hunting and killing. 57:13, world record. Like we talked, and if you were at the breaststroke clinic, we talked about this. He's the only guy to go under 58 seconds. So he's the only person in the world to go under 58 seconds. And now we're going to watch his race, which is in the chat. Now we're going to watch his 2019 world record. So this is 3 years apart. Just posted it in the chat. This is 3 years apart. So think about that. He is still the only person ever to go under 58 seconds in the 100 breast. And we're about to watch him go 56 seconds in the 100 breast. So once again, if you'd like to watch it, it's on my screen. If you want to watch it on your computer, I just posted it in the chat. But let's go for it. Let's take a watch here. What am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? So he's right in the middle, black cap. Here we go. Got the nice tattoo now. He's got the full sleeve. He's looking like Sam Lorenz at 13 overstate. Here we go. So he's right in the middle. He's already charging out for the lead. Lane 8 looks like they're in the lead, but yeah, they're not. Adam Peaty's right in the middle. So the red line's the world record line. So he turns right at it. He turns right at the world record line. Here, look at that. In 100 breasts, he's more than a body length ahead of everybody. He's almost two. He's almost 1.5. He's almost 2 now. Remember, he's the only one ever to go under 58 seconds, and he's about to go under 57. 56. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. See if I can pause it right when I want to pause it. All right. Reason why I paused it there. Make sure everyone's in. All right. So let's talk about this. Let's dissect his races. So in 2016, when he set the world record at Rio, he went 21 strokes his first 50 and then 25. Really nice job. 4 strokes difference. That's about what you expect with a good start and good pull down. So his splits, he went 57-13. He was 26-6, 30.5. So his fade was about 3.9. So the average fade is about 4.1 seconds. So he's right at the average. It's about 0.2 lower than the average, but he's right there. Really good swing. 21-25, 26-6, 30.5. Really nice swing. Fast in the world at the time. Now, let's fast forward 3 years. This is really interesting. His stroke count was 19 and 23. So 3 years later, he took 2 strokes off his first 50, 2 strokes off his second 50. And here's what's even better. Look at this. He went 56-88. He went out in the exact same 50 splits. Exact same. 26-6. So like we always talk about, he went the same speed, but he took less strokes. That's a major improvement. And here's where it's really good. 30.25 the second 50. So again, now he's taking less strokes and he's going faster. That's double positive. That's what we really like to see. So now his fade is 3.6. So he's really below the average now. It's about half a second under the average. So let's take a look. Let's dissect. So in 2019, he took 2 less strokes per 50. So that's 4 less strokes total. And on 100 breaths in 3 years, he took 4 strokes off his total. He went out the same, but he brought it back faster with less strokes. So that's great swimming right there. So now we're going to talk and we're going to discuss what are some ways you think he was able to do this. Do you think it was race strategy? Do you think he worked on his pullouts? What are some of your thoughts here? Let's see what I'm going to call on here. Who am I going to call on? Amy. What's one of your answers? Amy and AJ, the 2 A's. What do you think here? I want you to put your answers in the chat. What are some ways you think that he was able to do this? How do you think he was able to go faster, taking less strokes? Was it race strategy? What did he work on his pullouts? What do you think he did? Amy and AJ, let's see. I called on Amy last time, but she wasn't in here, Rosie pointed out. So now she's got both race strategy and pullouts. AJ says pullouts. Rock on. So you guys are both right. So let's talk about his race strategy. So if he was able to take it out the exact same, he probably took it out a little more controlled that first 50 of 2019. He was probably able to be a little more under control because he turned right at the line both times. So he was probably able to stretch it out a little bit more, which you can see by his lower stroke count. He was able to stretch it out a little bit more. And then AJ mentioned his pullouts. In 2016, his pullouts were terrible for being one of the best breaststrokers, probably the best breaststroker of all time. His pullouts were terrible, but he worked on them enough in 2009. So in 2019, they became not so much a strength, but they were less of a weakness. So look at that. So you're both right. He was able to take it out fast and controlled. He was able to stretch it out a little bit more, that first 50. And then when it was time for him to make his move and to hunt kill, he was still keeping his length, but he was able to take more strokes. without spinning, so 23. And another answer that I hopefully was able to pause, he got bigger. Look how strong he is. If you were pausing at the end of the race, if you want to go to about like 1 minute 43-ish seconds on the 2019 video, dude is jacked. He's a big dude. He got bigger. 3 years difference. He put on a lot more muscle. If you look at the 2016 race, yeah, he's strong, but he's not nearly as big and strong. So one of the things we talked about, especially last summer when you're using the racks, when you get stronger, you can go out faster without having to work as hard, which is one of the reasons why the weight room is so important and dryland is so important. The bigger, the stronger you get, the less you have to work to go fast. So you guys all nailed it. Race strategy, he was able to take it out a little bit faster. He was able to take out the exact same, the same number with less strokes. Then he was able to bring it back faster with less strokes. That's race strategy. That's pullouts. That's 3 years of working on it, plus getting bigger and stronger. So as we're talking about this race stroke count, race strategy, getting bigger and stronger, I want you guys to think about the questions I asked you at the beginning. What am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? It's not just in the water. Think about how much effort and time you had to put in out of the water to get bigger and stronger. And let's see who am I calling. We didn't really get to talk a lot about catechisms for breaststroke last week. We did race analysis because we didn't do any breaststroke analysis last week. So let's see who am I calling. Akos and Annie Dickinson. Annie Dickinson and Akos. What are each going to say 1 or 2 catechisms that you see in his race videos? If you want to watch the race again, they're up on my screen. And the catechisms are right here as well. So, Akos and Annie D, stretch and snap. What do you say, Akos? What do you think? We got stretch the Y. What do you think in the coast? What do you think? See who's going to help her out. Ooh, flat on the outsweep. There you go, the coast. Absolutely. He does a great job of staying flat on his outsweep. You can see it. Hopefully, you get underwater shot the video. He does a great job of staying flat in his outsweep. He stretches that Y. And if you're looking at from above, there's a couple race views from above. He is flat. His back is very, very dry. Hips are at the surface. Back is very dry. We always talk about breaststroke. We want to go forward. We don't want to go up. We don't want to go down. He's driving everything forward. Does a great job. I still can't believe that he went 56.88. It's ridiculous. So, nice job on that, you guys. Nice job. Oh, we just added Gretchen on. So, last race we're going to watch. We have 2 more races. This is a little bit different. So, we just watched a race of, all right, well, it's pretty easy. He dropped time and he dropped stroke count. It's pretty easy to figure out why he went faster. So, we're going to watch 2 races. I'm going to put them in the chat. So, this is Mallory Comerford. This is 200 free short course at NCAAs. So this is the first one we're going to watch. This is 2017. This is 2017. I just put in the chat. We've watched this race before at the freestyle clinic, I believe. It was either the freestyle clinic or the short course versus long course clinic. So we're going to watch probably the best 200 free race of all time. You have 5 Olympians, and you have 4 gold medalists in this race. 5 Olympians, 4 gold medalists in this race. You got Mallory Comfort at the top, Ledecky, Simone Manuel, and Leah Smith. So we're going to watch this race. Oops. So the race just started on my screen if you want to watch. So once again, I want you to think about, what am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? So if you're watching the race, remember, it goes Simone in the middle, lane 5. and then Katie Ledecky's right above her, and then Mallory's right above her. So Mallory's in lane 3. So right now Simone's taking it out. Ledecky's right above her, and then Mallory's right above her. So we've been talking about race strategy. We've been talking about a lot of things here. What am I seeing? Why is it important? How would you work on it? And when would you work on it? Because everybody loves a good 200 free. Everybody loves a good 200 free. So we're at the halfway point. So now's the time when you should start making a move. Simone is still doing a great job. Ledecky's catching up. Mallory's still solid third. Here we go. So we're entering the fourth. We're about to enter the fourth 50. Mallory's crept up a little bit on Ledecky. Simone is still out in front. But here we go. Last 50. Here we go. Simone's still leading, but she's hurting. Mallory pops up a little bit, almost in the lead. So it's 3 Olympians right there, 3 gold medalists right there. And they tie. What a great race. What a great race. All right, so now we watch that one. So keep that in mind. Keep that vision in your head of how that race kind of went. And now we're going to watch 2018. So this is 1 year later. I want to put this one in the chat as well. This is 1 year later. No more Katie Ledecky, but it's still Mallory Comerford and Simone Manuel. Amy and I met at Duluth at Michigan Swim Camp. Yeah, you did. There are 4 Duluths. Duluth did go. She did go to our A+ meet. There are 4 Duluths. There's a lot of them. So the video's in the chat. We're going to watch 2018 now. So Mallory's right in the middle, right underneath Simone. So here we go. If you're watching my screen, the race is about to start. Good turn. So she's right with everybody, approaching that first turn, that first 50 turn. Here we go. Simone is still in the front like she was last year. Now she's probably about second or third, right? All right, now it's time to make a move. We're attacking that third 50. Here we go. Now here's where she's just going to drop everybody. That she turned with everybody going into the 150, and now she's about half a body length ahead of everybody going into this last 50. So the move was made. And it was a very, once you look at the splits, it was a very insane move. Boom, look at that. Look how far ahead she is now. She's dropped everybody. Puts her head down, finishes. On this race, she went 139.8. She's the second person ever to go under 140. She went 139.80. Insane. Look at that last 50, 25.2. Ridiculous. 139.8. Second woman ever. So we're going to let's make sure we're all good. Excellent. So now we're going to talk about this race. And we talked about with Adam Peaty, it was very easy. He took less strokes to be able to go faster. Oh, we saw improvement. Really easy. So now we're going to take a look at a little bit weirder example. And I want to show a weirder example because I want to show you there's different ways than to just going fast. There's different ways to skin a cat. Still have no idea where that expression came from. So in 2017, if you look at her stroke count, now this is cycles, she went 4.5, Then she went 6, 6, 6. That's her first 100. Then her second 100, she went 6.5, 7, 7, 8. Makes sense, right? When you got to make a move, you got to pick up your strokes. Makes sense that the stroke counts go up a little bit. But once again, like we talked about South's 200 fly, they don't get out of control. She doesn't go 6 cycles to 10 cycles. She goes 6 to 8. So if you look at her splits, let's look at her hundreds right now. Look at her 100. She went 49.4 the first 100. She brought back 50.9. 50.9. You can actually take a look at it. Her third 50 was her fastest non-dive 50. So she made that move. And we'll come back to that. So her fade was about 1.4 seconds. So she's well below the average of 2.4. Well below the average. Now here's where things get interesting. If you look at 2018, when she went faster, remember she went faster. Her first 25, she was 5. Then she was 6, 6.5, 7. So that's her first 100. So her first 100, she took 4 more strokes or 2 more cycles than she did the previous year. And then her second 100, she went 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7.5. So on her second 100, she took 2 less strokes or 1 less cycle. She went faster, 139.8. Once again, her third 50 was her fastest non-dive 50. But look at her splits. She went out the exact same, but brought it back almost half a second faster, almost more than half a second. Look at her fade. She was less than a second difference between her hundreds. Her second 100 was less than a second off of her first 100, way under the average. It's very hard to see that. You will not see that very much, if ever. So let's dissect this race a little bit. I'm interested to hear. So we're going to talk about it. So in 2018, she went out the same but brought it back faster. We've established that by just looking at her splits. In 2018, she took 2 less strokes on her last 100. So she brought it back faster, 2 less strokes. Great. That's what we saw with Adam Peaty. But in 2017, she took 4 less strokes on her first 100. So 1 year later, she took 4 more strokes on her first 100 and 2 less on her last 100. So that seems really weird. I hope it seems weird to you guys because it's a little weird to me. So let's discuss that idea. So what are some ways do you guys think, Jack Paul, I'm looking at you, the man with the answers. What are some ways do you think that she was able to take less strokes on her second 100, but more strokes on her first? What are some ways do you think? And if you're like I said, there's no wrong answers. Yes, Andy, that's cycles, not strokes. So, double L, there's no wrong answers. I'm going to just take a shot in the dark because I don't think there is a wrong answer. I think there's theories, but I don't think there's a wrong answer here. So, make sure Jack Paul's still in here. Oh, yeah, we still got him. We still got him. So, what do you think there, big guy? Just take a shot in the dark. And who else is in here? I haven't called him. Sal's helping out in there too. Sal's helping out. You and double L. What are some ways you think she was able to take less strokes her second 100, but she still took more strokes her first 100? It's very peculiar. Like I said, there's no wrong answers. Just shoot away, and then we'll discuss it. Then we'll discuss it. Give you guys a little bit of time here, and we'll see what you guys think. What are some ways, or why do you think her second 100 is faster but less strokes, and her first 100 is the same, but she took more strokes? What do you guys think?
Caleb, you need to scroll down in the chat. They've responded.
Boom! I love it. Thank you, whoever said that. Better underwaters and less breathing. Focusing on length after the move was made. Boom! Boom! Excellent. I have it on my sheet right here as well. That's very similar. So there's many different ways. one of the ways I think when she made her move, that third 50, she started putting a little more power in her underwaters. A little more power in her underwaters. So I think that was Double O who said it. Yes, better underwaters. So she was getting a little more power into them. She was attacking her turns. If you noticed in 2018, she was a little long at the beginning in some of her turns. She was a little bit long. By getting a little more oomph into those underwaters, she was able to attack. She was able to get closer with less strokes. And I think it was Sal said focusing on length. Absolutely. She was able to maintain her length, better underwaters, and she probably was able to put a little more oomph into her kick too, or on the water, on top of the water kick. We worked a lot this year on light kicking versus hard kicking. That first 100, she was probably light kicking, so she probably didn't get enough out of her kick, so she was a little long, but she was also having to take more strokes. She did a great job. Great job. Great job. So like you guys nailed it. Underwaters, kick. She focused a little bit more on length. And she did a great job just attacking that last 100. Well done. Well done, Mallory Comerford. Now, last thing we're going to talk about with this race and for the day. What if I told you that in 2016, in her 100, she went 46.3 and 46.3. And then in 2018, she went 46.2. So you look at her opening splits, 49 fours, but she was 46.3 and 46.2 in her 100. So could she have gone out a little bit faster? I think she could have. Like we talk about in our Takeout Tuesdays. You want to be about 2-ish seconds, 2 to 2.5 seconds for that first 100 of your 200. So if she does that, she maybe goes out in 48. 48 mid, 48 high. I mean, 49.4 is still really good, but look out. She was able to really bring it back. So last two questions. See if anyone else. Let's see. Who have I not called on? If she did go out, her fade would be bigger. Yes, it could have been. It could have been. But how do we know if she could have made her move? We'll never know. Let's see. Simone and Gretchen. I want you guys to put some answers in the chat of how you think she could have gone out faster. We talked about it a little bit. How do you think she could have gone out faster? Simone and Gretchen. And Salas is absolutely correct. If she did go out faster, yes, there's a chance that her fade would have been bigger. She goes out 48, maybe she brings it back 51. That's still 139. Maybe she's able to go out 48, and maybe she's still able to bring it back 50.3. We sadly will never know, but there's a lot of moving parts, and absolutely, her fade would absolutely be bigger. Simone's right, better underwaters, like we talked about, a little more oomph into those kicks. She did a great job her last couple 50s, last couple turns of going a little more power into those kicks. Under control, but still fast. Yes, we talked about under control, but still fast. Maybe she could have taken a little bit more strokes, but they could have been a little bit faster. Maybe she could have kicked a little bit harder. A lot of different ways, like we talked, a lot of different ways to do this. So I wanted to show you guys this to show that it's not always, well, if you drop strokes, you drop time, it's a win. Sometimes it's going to be a little different. She still went faster, but she took less strokes in one part of a race, more strokes in another part of a race. So it's going to be different. Everyone's going to be a little different. That's what I kind of want to show at this race, that it's not just all one cookie cutter mold. So please, 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 please sign up for some races on the sign-up sheet. I send it out probably 2 or 3 times a week. Thank you very much, Silas, for doing your race. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for participating in the chat and the questions. That was a lot more fun than last week. It was a lot more interactive. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Also in the chat, and everyone, please wish Akos a happy birthday. It is her birthday, I found out. So happy birthday, Akos, the Kos. We will see you guys very soon. Keep having fun, keep working hard, and we'll see you guys, like I said, we'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Thank you for coming in and spend your Friday afternoon with us, and we'll see you guys soon. Yes, now she's 12. You guys rock.